And the home of the brave. What?
Wait, that wasn't Taps? What the fuck are you playing? What the hell? How did you go? You were playing like Taps or something, and then like you went into and the home of the what? Oh my god! I don't know. I have no idea.
It was for that reaction. It was really the whole reason that I did that. Then. What's up, the internet? Welcome to Don't Get Your Hopes Up. You were warned. My name is Josh Allen, aka many things really, mostly lore. Joining me as always is Mike B, aka Mike B.
Yeah.
I just realized how ridiculous that sentence
That's because you're saying it wrong. It's Akamikeb.
Akamikeb.
AKA Akamikeb. Or Akamikeb-san. There you go. What's up?
Fony.
Fony.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh boy.
Oh.
We're getting the good ones here.
Oh dear. So it has been like 3 weeks since we did one of these or something. It's been a while.
Something like that. Last week we were working hard.
Yeah, last week I was just at work forever.
Yeah, we did an episode 2 weeks ago.
Okay, good. There's been a lot of World of Warcraft.
We almost didn't do an episode tonight, which would have been terrible because then we wouldn't have had an episode for. Wait, when is BlizzCon?
BlizzCon's not for a while.
Oh, it's
but
November. Okay, that's right.
Yeah,
but still,
my Thursdays should be pretty clear for the foreseeable future up until November.
Cool.
Wait, no, that's a lie. Next week Thursday, I'm going down to TwitchCon. The week after that, I think I'll be around.
Mm-hmm.
So here's what the next several weeks of my life look like. I have TwitchCon, then I have North American WoW Regionals, then I think I have a week off, but there's probably something in there, and then there's BlizzCon opening week towards the end of October, and then right after that there's BlizzCon. And somewhere in the middle of all of that is somewhere mid-October is a live Q&A of some capacity as well. Okay. So I'm a bit busy for the next forever. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which sucks because I'm playing a lot of WoW at the moment because, well, obviously. And Destiny, Rise of Iron just came out, and was really excited for Rise of Iron. I'm still really, I pre-ordered it, I own the game, and I have not had a chance to play it yet, and I don't know when I will have a chance to actually play it.
Yeah.
And this makes me sad.
Yeah.
Not sad enough to play less WoW, but it does make me sad.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Because I'm gonna be gone pretty much all next week except for Monday or something. I am trying to cram as much shit as I can into 1 week to cover all the time I'm not gonna be here. So that's get a couple of breakfasts together. Obviously get a BFF report out. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it on Battle Rate, and then Battle Rate had an NDA until Monday, and it was like, okay, cool. Now I'll start capturing the footage, and I'll start recording. I have all the voice stuff down. But it's still gonna be, I'll still be cramming shit because I have to. Tomorrow I'm gonna be gone all day for to just basically errands. And yeah, it's just been it's been a mess. And then somewhere in there, I'm supposed to play WoW. I basically play WoW long enough to get some order resources, get enough to last me a few days.
Yeah.
It's like fucking like heroin or something or crack. It's just I just need enough to last me a few days, man.
I have I have that going on my monk right now because I've been focusing pretty heavily on my mage and choking to death. Apparently, hang on.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've been focusing pretty heavily on my mage at max level, but I got my monk leveled to the point where he has missions going now. And when you're low level, a lot of the time you get XP missions. So I just log in, get enough order resources on him to be able to run missions for a while. And I've been very slowly leveling him through just the XP missions through the app. It's really funny.
Yep, that's the same thing I do with my stupid shaman.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, we went into the WoW raid, Emerald Nightmare, this week. 7-7. Pretty excited about that.
Oh, hey.
Normal mode, a little bit less excited about that. But it was good. It's fun. I enjoyed it, and I play Arcane Mage, so I just felt I would mention that because every other mage right now is fire, and I'm Arcane, and I'm doing pretty well.
Yeah, you've been talking about Arcane since you tried it, like right after launch, I think is when you kind of first jumped into it, wasn't it?
Yeah, like I leveled as fire, and I got to max, and I was like, okay, because basically once you get an artifact, I think I've said this on the show before too, but once you get an artifact to rank 13, it costs you more to go from 13 to 14 on that artifact than it does to go from 0 to 13 on a second artifact. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll gear up my arcane artifact and see how arcane plays. So I did that. I was like, wow, actually this is really fun. I actually really like this. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just do arcane then. And I've been generally finding that it performs pretty well, and everybody went fire is the only reason that fire is outperforming arcane right now. Like, it's actually really interesting how heavily community perception can influence things. Basically, everyone decided that fire was the best spec, and it does theoretically, like on a spreadsheet, it does outperform arcane on single target a little bit.
Right.
So everyone decided that fire was the best. Everyone should go fire, and as a result, all of the good players are fire, and all of the bads like me are playing other specs. So the only people playing a spec are the ones that were just like sticking with it and saying, no, I'm gonna play this spec regardless of how good it is. And all of the like top level raiders who are like, I need to do absolutely everything I can and squeeze out those 0.5% bonuses everywhere that I can. You end up with just these wildly different things and parses, which then makes people go, wow, look, arcane is 35% worse than fire. And it's like, well, no, actually, people that are playing arcane right now are 35% worse than the people that are playing fire right now.
Yeah. I could see that. I could see that.
But yeah, I'll go ahead and mention it just in case someone listens to this and decides they're going to shout at me. There's a balance pass coming, and there's going to be details on that tomorrow.
Oh, that was that chalkboard you guys were...
Yeah, exactly. We basically decided we need to nerf warlocks more.
A vote of 1. I saw that it was highly represented.
Yeah. It was 100% of the votes at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an entertaining thing that happened today.
Mm-hmm.
None of what we're talking about right now is even on our list. But
yeah, exactly.
I tweeted that picture as just kind of like, funny joke, and then somewhat predictably there was a giant forum thread saying that I needed to be fired because I hate warlocks, and like people.
Wait, was there actually a thread?
Oh yeah, like
over that tweet.
Oh yeah, there was like,
oh my god,
there was like 10 pages last I looked. It got pretty long.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Why?
And like there were people like, while I obviously understand that that's the sort of thing that some people are going to take harshly, I think there are limits to that, and there's bounds of reason. And there were some people who were like, yeah, lore. Like, I was actually a guy who tweeted at me, and he was like, hey, you know what? Let's just kill all the black people and Jews. Haha, funny joke. Not. And I was like, you cannot possibly compare these things.
Fuck?
One of these is like genocide, actually you're a shit human being who should be burned to death. And the other one is, I made a snide joke about class balance in a fucking video game.
Yep. Wow.
Yeah. So it's been an entertaining day. Yeah.
Well,
How are you? How's your day?
I'm fine. Fuck. I mean, if somebody gets snarky with me, I just tell them to fuck off. But it doesn't happen that often, which is nice. So obviously, I surround myself with like-minded individuals.
Yeah.
I have nothing against warlocks. I have nothing.
Oh, me either.
I'm kind of like
I just think it's funny to comment about nerfing them because
yeah. It sucks to be you. It sucks to be anybody that's a CM. Today was definitely. When did that article come out? The one on PC Gamer.
Oh, the one that
yesterday, I think
Micah did. Yeah, Bashiak.
Yep.
It was really interesting reading that because he had this article, and like I respect Micah a great deal, and like he was one of my mentors. Well, it still is in some degree. One of my mentors of community management, particularly when I first started at the job. Because like here's this guy who's been doing this for 10 years. I've been doing this for 10 minutes. Please explain to me everything that you know. But at the same time, like I was reading through that, and I was like, wow, community management has really grown the fuck up in the past like 6 weeks. Like it's so ridiculous how fast, particularly at Blizzard. Like Blizzard, I'm slightly talking myself up here a little bit, but I feel like Blizzard has always been a company that, when it comes to community management, particularly in the gaming industry, has always been kind of at the front edge of it. Like, there's certainly always been things that we do that's kind of like, oh, it took you this long to get this done. But when it comes to like community management, I feel like I say we, but even prior to when I was at Blizzard, it's always been kind of, like, they were one of the first companies that really started to say, no, we have community managers and they're going to interact with the community all the time in the gaming industry. And so like even just looking at like the stuff Micah was saying in that article and comparing the processes he was talking about there to the processes that we use nowadays, it's like, wow, we've decided to become an actual useful department. Useful is the wrong term. Like professional, I guess, is a better way to put it.
A defined department, sort of. Actually, I didn't even say that.
Yeah, defined is still kind of the wrong term, and that's like I on a whim today decided to make a blog, and I put a blog post on it.
I read that.
Yeah, where I was like, here's what community managers do, and I put a GIF of Shaq wobbling and a cat wobbling and a priest wobbling, because that's more or less what we do. But like the idea of, for a long time, community managers have said things like, well, you can't really define what we do, and you can't really measure what we do, and you can't really put a value on community management. And I think that's all cop-out bullshit. Like, legit, I think when someone says that, it's either because they don't know how to measure what they do, or they don't have the capability to measure what they do. And a lot of times it's going to be the second one. Like, it's really, really hard to measure, like, we posted on the forums a bunch this week, and as a result, the company made X more dollars.
Yeah, sort of yeah. You can't quantify what it is that you guys do.
You can't directly quantify it, but you can find correlations.
Sure.
And you can. It all just comes down to tracking metrics and tracking user behavior. Which tracking user behavior is something that you would be surprised how few people are actually doing properly right now. Mm-hmm. And looking at things like, if this person posts on the forums, are they going to stay subscribed? How long are they going to stay subscribed for? If this person isn't posting on the forums much, and then there's a blue post, can we look and see they post in that thread? Do they then go on to post on the forums more regularly? And as a result of going on to posting on the forums more regularly, do they then stay subscribed longer?
Okay.
And you can sort of find correlations there. Finding causation is still difficult, but you can at least find things to point at and say, we think that what this is doing is this, which is more than what a lot of people seem to argue.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times it's just, well, we just make people feel good, and that's good. It's like, all right, yes, you're technically correct, but you should know why.
Yeah. Yeah, I read your article, and it's pretty much spot on for like what I've experienced in the past. especially when I was working directly with community managers from a press perspective, right?
Yeah.
Like for ZAM directly, of course. Like Troy Hewitt.
I don't know.
So Troy Hewitt, he's pretty known as a community manager. He kind of bounced around. He's working on Gigantic for a while with Allison Murdoch. Linda Carlson, you know her, right? For EverQuest.
I believe so. Yeah.
She's the one that dresses up as a dwarf.
Yeah.
And then Scapes, who works at Tryon. I actually think Linda Carlson's at Tryon too. Yeah, like you guys basically, it's weird. Like community managers have so many hats, but they don't necessarily, like, you're not PR, right?
Yeah.
Or marketing. You're not. You're obviously not the devs. You guys are.
We're not customer service.
Yeah, you're not customer service. You guys are coordinators. You guys are crowdsourcers in a sense that if you're looking for influencers, for example, right? You guys do the research to figure out who the influencers are. So you guys are kind of like, you BI in a sense, or biz.
Sort of. Except we also have that. Yeah. It's a tough one to try to define by exactly what we're doing, which is why I said in the article you need to think about it and defining a why we're doing it.
Yeah.
And the reason that makes sense is because the what then becomes kind of obvious. Okay, we're doing this because we're trying to find a way. Like, it's having someone whose entire thought process and purpose with every single thing that they do is, how is this going to make the community or make these people feel like they're a stronger member of the community? Which we know for a fact that when someone gets into the World of Warcraft community, for example, and they really start to participate in that, they will stay subscribed to the game longer. They will enjoy the game more, and so on. So, yeah, it's the sort of like, don't look at what we do so much, because what we do is try to make a community happen. Yeah. And like a lot of times people go, oh yeah, community manager, so you like post on the forums, right? And it's like, well, yeah, like I used to post on the forums a bunch. Now I don't post on the forums so much anymore because basically posting on the forums is a relatively junior task for a community manager.
Yeah.
Because
look at this guy, junior task. Not for me.
Not for me. No, like I don't like calling it a junior task because it's a super important one. But it's something that usually the people who have been there less amount of time are the people that are doing that, because the longer you're working in the community management field, the more valuable experience you're getting for other things that are a little bit more not high profile, but high.
Well, you get more tasks kind of thrown on your plate the longer you've been there. It's just
exactly.
You start them off in some of their basic tasks. I mean, it's just like leveling a character. It's like they're not gonna give you the whole set of skills all at once.
Yeah.
Here's your heroic strike or whatever for the next 10 levels. Have fun.
Yeah. So looking at my case, I used to post on the forums a whole bunch, and then as time went on, I as part of posting on the forums, I was spending a lot of time interacting directly with developers. Now my position is one where I handle the vast majority of our direct developer interaction for the entire community team, and I serve as more of a not gate, but like liaison for the team, where okay, this person over here has a question, I will go to the devs, ask it, get that answer back to them. This person over here has a question, okay, I'll go to the devs, ask it, get the answer back to them. And also like just generally working with people to track major concerns that are coming up in the community and so on, so that then in the meetings that I now have constantly with the development team, I can go, hey, by the way, guys, warlocks are really upset right now. Could you guys maybe give them a little something, you know what I'm saying? By which I obviously mean nerfs. So.
We've drawn up this carefully thought out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crap.
But yeah, like there's 10 people on my team, and only one of them is actually tasked with regularly posting on the forums.
No.
Because everybody else has other shit to do.
Oh man. Yeah, so it's a lot of hats,
Yeah,
basically.
and it's tough to describe, which is why I wrote a giant article today.
to not describe it. Thank you.
Exactly,
On Medium of all places. I was hoping when I clicked on the little Devil Lore shorter link, I was hoping it would be like Tumblr or something. I was hoping you'd go that way again and like have the whole thing like all decked out and like some gifs and shit. But nope.
Yeah, no, I
No, it's
decided
fine.
to use a platform that isn't garbage. No, I'm just kidding. Tumblr is like Snapchat for me. I don't understand it, and I just
Don't worry, dude. No, don't worry.
I'm gonna leave it alone.
Totally kidding. Yeah, just leave it alone. It's all good. You did the right thing.
I know I did.
Here's my write up, my extensive write up on being a community manager. Geocities.com / South Beach /
I should have done that. That would have been a good idea.
You would have taken down the site.
Yeah. So speaking of taking down the site, by which I mean putting limitations on your website, by which I mean getting rid of things you don't like on your website.
Ooh.
Steam has some interesting new restrictions, I guess, or I guess more just defaults in how they're showing user reviews. And I think this is actually really smart, but you know more about it than I do, so go.
Oh, I don't know anything about it. I just put the links in there. No.
Okay.
No. They changed it. I want to say this might have even been like last week now. I can't remember. Because we didn't do the show, but they made,
it looks like it.
They made the change where now when you go to customer reviews, you have the option of looking at review type, purchase type, language, right? You can basically customize your display. And by default, which actually I think, funny enough, the screenshot that I provided you that had the TLDR, which was supposed to make sense, but it made absolutely no sense, even to me, and I'm the one that did the screenshot. If you notice, it defaults the old way. In the screenshot that I gave you, actually defaults to Steam purchasers only, right? For displaying the reviews. And then you can see also in that screenshot, and I'll go ahead and paste it here, just to kind of get everybody on board here, that it also shows your key activations, quantity of 36, all that stuff. The score of, overwhelmingly positive, mostly positive, shitty mix, whatever, that is only taking into account Steam purchasers. Now, initially, when you have Steam purchasers as being the only ones that where you show the actual review, if your game is brand new, and let's say it's a Kickstarter game, where one of the things is one of the Kickstarter tiers is you get a key to the game. Well, technically, that's a key activation. So if that person writes a glowing review because the game is awesome and he did technically buy into it and paid money for it, well, then that review is going to be hidden by default. And reviews make the world go round on Steam. The more reviews you get, the more promising placement you'd get, and just and so on and so forth. It'd be like, mostly positive this week that's in a genre of a bunch of games you already own, and it'd be suggested to somebody, right? If the game was crap, they're not going to go around promoting it. And so because the key activations were separated and not included in the default view, if somebody were to go to the page for a game that just released and it had 1,000 reviews that were all key activations from a Kickstarter, none of them would show up by default. And we know that when we talk about default, we mean basically the majority idiot, right?
Yeah.
Who doesn't know that they could click on, let me see key activations. And so you end up losing a solid chunk of your impulse buy. The ones who go to the page and they see, oh man, this game is exactly the best combination of insert your favorite game here, and also this other favorite game that you had when you were a child, and all at the same time, and then like chime into some movie that you loved when you were growing up, right? So it's like you wouldn't see that review, and therefore you wouldn't get that impulse buy. So they then later go through and they make changes to that default view. So now the default view includes the what's it called?
Key activations?
Yeah, now key activations, but the score is not included.
Right.
Does not include that.
So you see the reviews for it, but you don't see the score is still only on the actual purchasers.
Correct.
Right.
So
yeah, go
ahead.
It's really it's interesting. It's one of those sort of like there's positives and negatives behind it. And a lot of this is just trying to find ways to. It's almost social engineering in a sense, but also, well, excuse me, trying to counteract, like. So if you're releasing a game, and you want it to previously, before these changes went in, if you release a game, and you want it to do well on Steam, you could release it. Charge $50 for it and give out 200 keys to people that you know are going to review stuff. Like go through like literally if you want to be really, really sneaky, you could go through Steam, find people that have reviewed similar games positively, send them keys. You know there's a pretty good chance that they're going to review your game as well. And they'll say, wow, this game is really fun because they got it for free. But then anybody else wants to spend $50 for it, and they're going to say, well, this game is not worth $50. There's no way that I will pay. I paid $50 for this based on all of these reviews that said it was really good, but it's really bad. I don't like. It's not worth the value. For example, this is just one theoretical way that this would be a problem.
Sure.
So that's kind of what Valve is trying to counteract here: is people sort of manipulating the review scores by. Handing out keys, just sort of as many keys as possible. It's the same sort of thing. It actually happens on Amazon a lot nowadays, where you'll see. I actually know a couple of people that do this too. You'll see like this product has 800 reviews on Amazon. Oh my god, and it's all 4 out of 5 stars. Oh, it sounds so good. But then you go in and all of the reviews say, like, note, I received this product for a discount in exchange for my quote-unquote fair and honest review. And if you get a discount, it's never going to be a fair and honest review because all of those people know that they're going to get more of these discounts if all of their fair and honest reviews are somewhat positive. And it's not like they're specifically deciding, I'm going to do this. It's just a subconscious in the back of your head. You want to like the thing. Yeah. Because you want to give it a positive review. It's actually a problem that a lot of game reviewers have as well, especially when they're just starting out, is like every game that comes out, they want to give it a positive review because they want what they're reviewing to be good. And you eventually have to just sort of take that out of the factor. But like looking at what Steam is doing here, it seems to be kind of trying to counteract a very similar thing. But like you said, it does have the negative effect of now if you just released a game and it might be the best game ever, but if you kickstarted it or maybe you didn't kickstart it, you just released it and you were like, I want to get some buzz around my game, I'm going to give some people some keys so they can review it. That now doesn't do anything for you. So yeah, it's interesting. I do kind of like that they seem to have sort of found a happy-ish medium, where it doesn't include it in the overall score, but it does at least show the reviews. So if you scroll down and you don't see a score, you'll still be able to see some people saying things about it. But it's still like it's a tough problem to solve. Like, how do you let people promote their game, but also not let people promote their game?
Yeah. It's just hard to find that happy medium. I think as long as in this case now they made this second revision here, then now they would hopefully go through and show that however they weigh the promotion aspect or whatever, placement for a game based off of its reviews, that it does take into account key activations. Otherwise, smaller indie games or people who use Kickstarter or Humble Bundle or whatever still end up losing, which sucks. And what this also does is it kind of puts like, I mean, if that is the case and they're not getting any, and the reviews, while they're shown, they're not actually holding any weight anywhere. It kind of makes Steam look even more like a dick, because it's almost like Steam is saying, hey, stop selling your shit through Humble Bundle. Stop, generating keys and throwing them out at, willy-nilly on whatever other service that you're using, or just direct, and just start telling them to buy the game. Like that feels like that's a side effect. That's an obvious side effect that's going to happen, is that developers could be like, well, I'm not gonna get any reviews if people don't buy the game. Well, I can't get people to buy the game if there's no reviews, and so now they're stuck in this catch-22.
Yep. Yeah, it's interesting for sure, and it's one of the I doubt there is I doubt that there is a correct answer to this situation. There's always going to be problems where if you show when you're trying to distill things down into what is essentially a flawed concept to begin with, which is other people's opinions of things. Because no matter how many other people's opinions you read about something, the only opinion that really matters is your own. And you're just trying to you're trying to guess at what your opinion might be based on what other people's opinions are.
Right.
But yeah, it's interesting. And I don't think I have anything else to say about it.
Yep, same.
All right. So, speaking of user reviews, by which I mean speaking of stuff that people got for free, by which I mean speaking of stuff that you get as part of a promotion from a company, by which I mean getting lots of promotions from a company, by which I mean starting out as a artist and working your way up the chain. Chris Metzen left Blizzard.
Yeah.
Single tear rolls down my cheek.
Just one? That's jeez.
Yeah. Well, okay, so first of all, he did steal Kevin Johnson's bike when he left, so that's
that's an inside joke.
It is an inside joke, but it's funny. Like the day Metzen left, Kevin's bike got stolen, so we just decided that it was Metzen.
It was Metzen on his way out. He's rode off into the sunset on a Huffy or whatever it is that he rides.
Yeah. But yeah, I cannot possibly be sad for Metzen retiring at 42 to spend time with his family. That is the fucking dream.
Man.
Yeah, like everybody's like, "Oh, I'm gonna miss him so much," and it's like, okay, first of all, he was like senior vice president of incredibly senior high level shit, not the guy who was writing quest text. Right. So the scene that you liked, he probably saw it and approved it at some point, but he didn't write it. That's just not what that role was. A lot of the Overwatch stuff, I should say, a lot of the Overwatch stuff, he has been very, very heavily involved in that. But like for World of Warcraft and honestly, I think most of the other titles as well, he's been in a sort of advisor / approvals role for a while and not actually writing this stuff. Mm-hmm. In fact, thinking about it, I'm pretty sure the last WoW expansion that he was heavily involved in writing was Warlords of Draenor. So there you go, guys. But yeah, like the fact that he's been like, obviously a lot of the stuff he did in the past for Warcraft was like the Warcraft the franchise, not necessarily World of Warcraft, because I honestly just don't know how involved he's been with World of Warcraft over the years.
Yeah.
But like all the stuff back in the Orcs and Humans days, the Frozen Throne days, etc. Very, very impactful. Obviously very involved in a lot of the other franchises as well. He was retired at 42. Good. Like, well done. I would do the same exact fucking thing. Mm-hmm. Like, I want to applaud the guy more than anything else. Like, good job, man. You did it.
The dream. He worked on video games his whole career, and then he got to retire early. So yeah, it's amazing. I love the statue that you guys have. That's gonna be
gonna be a statue.
Yeah, it's gonna be a statue. A play on the Mickey Mouse, the Disney and Mickey Mouse. It was really good. Like, I mean, I think that he's gonna be missed. Like, he's the hype man when he comes out. You know, he comes out on a stage and he has like there's so much heart that he brings to it. You know, like We was talking about Overwatch, and the guy thought the guy was gonna start busting out in tears because he knew it was like it was a project that he was just overflowing with emotion to show everybody, and you could feel it, and I mean he's just a passionate fucking nerd, just like a lot of us. He's more attractive than some of us. Yeah, but he's up there and he's doing all this cool shit, and it's good for him. Like he's gonna go and do fucking whatever.
Yeah. So I got a chance to. I actually didn't see him or talk to him much at Blizzard at all, really. Right. He was in a building that was pretty far from where my office has been. So we don't bump into each other. We don't see each other. I don't go, hey Chris, could you sign my teeth or anything like that. Yeah, exactly. But I did, for reasons I don't understand. He did a talk at UCI a while back.
Uh-huh.
And they were like, oh, well, he wants to have someone from the company there too to help him sort of moderate and keep on track because he knows that he tends to kind of ramble sometimes. So I was like, oh, okay. And for some reason, I got nominated to do this. I don't know how that happened. Whatever. So like we go to UCI. I have this like list of questions and a vague understanding of why we're even there to begin with. And he's like, I'm like, okay, I'll just ask questions off of this list that someone has handed me. And he's like, yeah, make sure that I don't go too far into the weeds. So I'm like, okay, cool. And like the guy, his enthusiasm is just so infectious that you cannot have a conversation with him and not 100% believe, no matter what he's saying, that it's just gospel. And so like he's sitting there and he's talking about, I don't even remember what the fuck it was he was talking about, but he went on for like a good 10 minutes. Then he looked at me and goes, yo, you're supposed to be keeping me from going off like this. I'm like, I'm sorry, man, I was just listening.
I was into it, man. I was part of this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's like one of the most genuine human beings, like almost to a fault sometimes. In the sense that he will, when he gets excited about something, he gets really fucking excited about that thing. Even if someone else is then like, no, I don't think this is a good idea. Like he will be, no, I'm really excited about this. I think it's going to be awesome. Oh, this is going to be so great. And because he's Chris fucking Metzen, when he's like, yeah, I'm really excited about this. This is going to be so great. Everyone else is like, it's going to be really good, Mr. Metzen, sir. Because again, he's just so infectious. He could be like, "Oh, you guys, I got the best idea for the next World of Warcraft expansion. What if we had Gul'dan come back as a lady and it was Girl Dan?" And everyone would be like,
"What the fuck?
Yes, ship it." Seal of approval.
skip any amount of like testing. Just let it go. It's perfect.
Like 20 minutes later, as soon as you've left the room and I don't know, the fucking pheromones or whatever have worn off, like you're gonna be like, wow, that's a really dumb idea. But while he's there talking to you about it, you're gonna be like, yeah, man, we should have the guy from American Chopper just make some motorcycles. We should do that.
Yeah, wow. Yes, man. Yeah, I mean he's just very charismatic, and I mean there's no argument there, right? Like he's very charismatic, very passionate, and he knows how to get people pumped. There's a reason why he's the guy that comes out on stage.
Yeah,
he knows how to get people pumped because he's passionate about all this stuff. And he sold you guys on the America Choppers thing.
Yeah. Also on Girl Dan.
And Girl
Spoilers. Yeah, that's 8-0, by the way.
The next expansion.
The next expansion is just like some straight up like
he did
Vogue
say
cover girl.
He did actually say, like almost verbatim, I need to go find myself. So maybe there's some self conflict there. Yeah. And he is gonna. I mean, no, never mind. I don't even.
Yeah.
You never know.
That'd be good.
Oh man. So he's gone, and Blizzard obviously is falling apart completely. Can't keep the shit together. People losing bikes left and right. It's just It's just
The Azeroth choppers, we don't know where they are.
it's just something that's unfortunately just you guys are never going to recover from. Is he going to be at BlizzCon? Like
I'm
doing any of the
sure.
hosting?
I don't know if he's going to do any of the hosting at BlizzCon.
I'm sure he has to come out for one more. He's going to come
I'm
on stage.
completely not involved in any of that, so I found out today things about the thing that I'm organizing at BlizzCon, which I'm not going to talk about because none of that's been announced yet. It's nothing exciting, but
we know there's a thing. Oh man.
Yeah.
You heard it here first, folks.
There's going to be things.
There's going to be
BlizzCon.
a thing. At
not
BlizzCon.
just a thing. Things.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
shit. Could this be
Get excited.
Titan?
Unless you're a warlock, don't get excited.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be there regardless. And like the other thing too is like a lot of people there's sort of been this exodus from Blizzard, like some of the really old school people at Blizzard lately that have gone off to like start new companies or whatever. Metzen is not doing that. He's just retiring. So and he's retiring to spend some time with his new kid. Once his kid, like 10 years from now, when his kid's like, "Dad, I hate you," maybe we'll see more of him. So.
Yep. Well, good for him.
Yeah.
We all want to be there at 40. What 2?
42. Yeah.
Man. Yeah. We all want to be there at 42.
Yep.
I
don't know what this is at all, by the way.
You don't? Oh,
No.
I'll talk about it a little bit.
Okay.
So I don't know how to transition into it. Actually, you can. Speaking of,
So speaking of Chris Metzen, by which I mean speaking of very prominent individuals at Blizzard, by which I mean speaking of what many people would call a hero of Blizzard, by which I mean a hero of the storm, by which I mean heroes, by which I mean whatever the fuck YouTube Heroes is. What's YouTube Heroes?
so it's something that almost flew under the radar for me too, because here's what happened. It came out. I was busy doing other bullshit with other games, right? To pay attention to more fucking YouTube drama. And then everyone got their panties in a twist. And the first thing I thought was, okay, good. It is more YouTube drama. I don't need to pay attention to it, whatever. And I decided to watch the 2-minute video about it that YouTube put out, which has, by the way, I think a worse negative score than what was the last one? Was it like one of the Call of Duty? No. It was it Rebecca Black? No. I can't remember. Oh no, the Ghostbusters trailer. I think it's doing worse than the Ghostbusters trailer. And effectively what it is they are crowdsourcing community in such a way that grants your participation as a community person or someone that watches YouTube. Your participation on the site will earn you these like hero points or whatever, and then you could move up these tiers. The tiers include, stage 1 is just like you by participating whatever you could, basically by stage like 3 or something, you can mass flag videos, which is awesome. That's just what I want, is someone to mass flag like all my videos. Easy.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Fuck. And then they also eventually get to the point where they can talk to their talk to like a YouTube representative direct. And it's just like, what the fucking shit is this? Like, it's so first off,
I like that the talk to a YouTube representative direct comes after mass flag videos.
Yeah. Oh man, it's so Incogni brought this up to me yesterday. He's like, "Oh, have you seen this?" And he started freaking out, and I'm like, "Incogni, shut up." Yeah, because I think I said last night something along the lines of, "It's probably more YouTube drama. I'm not gonna comment on it because I don't know anything about it. So whatever. It's probably just more YouTube drama." And then I watched the video this morning, and he was right. It is totally like it's completely dumb, and just it feels very short-sighted, and I feel like them doing this, I don't know what the reason for them doing this is. If the video needs to be flagged, people will fucking flag it. There has never been a problem with videos being flagged. If you're watching videos on Reddit, on like r/WTF or r/whatever, you'll see videos get pulled all the time. You know, it happens constantly. So people are flagging videos. That is not a problem. So why did we need to reach out to the community and get them to start flagging more fucking videos? I feel like, because the first tier is all about, you comment and then you get, YouTube like hero experience or whatever the hell it is, right? I feel like they were like, yeah, let's give people these incentives to talk on the site and to say things and communicate on the site. So great, YouTube comments of all places, you want to like give them fucking points on top of everything else. So I feel like it started off with that, and then they're like, well, what's the incentive? What do you do with the points? It's like, well, let's just give them more power. Let's create a hero dashboard, which they've created. I don't know what it looks like, but there's apparently a hero dashboard where they can sit there and shit post on like thousands of videos all at the same time while simultaneously flagging them for shit that's not in the video at all. And it just builds up from there. It just doesn't make any sense. And then of course the thing that just really rustles my jimmies is the fact that one of the tiers allows them to have some kind of direct communication with somebody at YouTube. Something that as creators we've been trying to do for almost a decade. I had a couple regular meetings with people at YouTube. With a person at YouTube. But it was strictly like, here's how to read your insights. Your thumbnails suck, and such. And that was kind of it. I mean, she was amazing. She was super friendly. She helped me. She answered any questions that I had about YouTube in general, and she was great. And then she left. It had nothing to do with anything else. Like, she couldn't help me with anything else. It was very direct in what exactly it was. And there was probably only like I'd imagine maybe 100 people, creators, that got opportunity to do this. So I was extremely lucky. There's no way every creator is getting this like consulting, on their channel. Oh man, yes, grinding my gears, rustling my jimmies, whatever you want to call it. It just seems very short-sighted and can potentially lead to even more oversight required by YouTube, which I think is just dumb.
It's like, obviously all I know about it is the way you've described it to me. So I don't know, maybe you're bullshitting me right now, but this sounds like just such a ridiculously Google thing to do. Like, Google has created a lot of really great stuff over the years.
Sure.
For every great thing Google has made, they've come up with 6 or 7 bullshit garbage things.
That is correct. Yes.
Like, yeah. Remember, I was talking to Methylene the other day about Android TV. Mm-hmm. Remember when that was going to be a thing?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because it was like, oh yeah, it's like Apple TV, but it's Android. And then they were like, oh, well, but we're also at the same time have released a Chromecast, which is not quite the same, but everyone in the world owns a smartphone, and this is $20. Mm. And so, like, they compete with themselves regularly. They do just straight up retarded shit. Like, remember Google Wave?
Yeah.
Or what was their weird like thing that it was like a Twitter thing they were trying to do? Buzz. They had like Google Buzz for a while that was like put into Gmail, and every single post on Google Buzz was, what the hell is Google Buzz?
Yes.
Then like 2 months later they came out with Google Plus, which then also bombed. Like they are a company that on the positive end, they do an awful lot of, hey, let's come up with an idea and let's see if it works, which is good. On the negative end, they stick with those ideas a lot longer than they really should. And so I totally can see this as someone going, man, you know what will solve YouTube? You know what will fix it? Is if we had some sort of, like this, it sounds like someone tried to make a like content creator support like growth system.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, and what if we extended that to the community as well? Oh man, that'd be so good. And what if we gave them some really cool rewards? Man, you know what people really want? The ability to fucking talk to somebody at our goddamn shitty ass company. So we should make that one of the rewards. Oh, but that's such a big deal. We got to make that the best reward. Yeah, it's going to be really good. You know what else people want to do? Flag everyone's videos that they don't like. Let's give that to them too.
Oh man, yeah.
It's seriously. It sounds like I use WoW as example entirely too often, but it's my life, so it just makes sense. But it sounds to me like every once in a while there will be some like list of issues that someone decides, you know what, I can solve all of these issues at the same time, and they'll make a forum post about how they want to put this brand new system in the game called like duck points or something, and every time you do a thing you get a duck, and then you spend your ducks on other things, and it's going to be great, and you can spend achievement points, and you're going to have the dance studio as part of it too, and flying in Draenor.
Dance studio.
Yeah. And like by the time you finish reading it, you're like, okay, so this is literally just someone took a whole bunch of problems and tried to solve them all with the same exact system, and that's not how this works. And maybe as part of this, you could also buff mages. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Oh god, Google Glass. Yeah. That was
Google
one
Glass.
that was one that people actually thought was going to be a thing for a long time. Like there were a bunch of people around campus that had Google Glass. They were like part of the Pioneer or whatever system it was called.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem with Google Glass, the number one issue with Google Glass was everyone either looked at you like, what the fuck is this weird, like, do you have a disability? Why is this on your head?
yeah, exactly.
Or that's a Google Glass, you're recording me right now, aren't you? Like, those are the two ways that you could ever interact with someone wearing Google Glass, to the point that everybody that had one on campus stopped wearing them because they were tired of people like always saying, are you recording? Or do you have a disability? Like,
yeah, I knew, I met a guy at, actually funny enough, a Blizzard mixer in San Francisco, a recruiting mixer. And it was, there was like a shitload of people there. Hartzman was there. Like everyone was fucking there. Right. There was a guy walking around with Google Glass, and Jen was with me, and we were just like talking with him, and it's like he was showing it to us, and as it's like, man, like it's so obvious what it is, and it was just like it was just impractical. Like he was showing how it worked, and he was just like, yeah. Then like if I get a text, I can look up in the corner and see it, and see the text and everything. I was just like, okay, cool. Yeah, it takes some getting used to, but you eventually just kind of look up. I was like, man, like that's, I could see how cool it is. It just felt the application was so impractical because it was so obvious. It's like walking around outside with VR glasses. People know what glasses look like. The problem is when you change that, the fundamental like structure of what something that is so common and even in and of itself comes in so many different styles and shapes. If you make that stand out, the thing that comes in like a billion different styles and shapes. You make that stand out, that's a problem. That's a design flaw.
Yeah. And
that's effectively what it was. And it was neat. I mean, that's all I could say. It was like, oh, that's cool, man. I would never wear this outside.
Yep. Yep. Well, and then like smartwatches came along and people were like, oh, you mean I can just look at my wrist instead of looking awkwardly slightly upward and to the right? Okay, that works.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So yes, this goes back to YouTube Heroes basically being. Here's the problem that I have with it is that because it is part of something that's already exists, like Wave and Glass and Buzz and all this stuff were separate sites, separate things that they were working on. But because this is part of something that already exists, I feel like there's a strong chance that this might. It might be here for a long time, if not indefinitely. Even if it doesn't end up getting used, it still might end up being here.
Yep. So, speaking of YouTube Heroes, by which I mean speaking of shit.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a pretty direct jump from there.
Yeah.
So shit. No. By which I mean speaking of shit. By which I mean speaking of things.
I'm losing you. I thought you were pausing for effect.
Oh god.
Which means you're talking and the recording's gonna be amazing right about now.
Oh yeah.
The drum right now. Hold on.
I'm still talking.
Oh Lord, come back, please. Oh Lord, come back, please. Oh Lord, come back to me. Come back to me. Yeah. Come back to me, man. Come back to me, Lord. 3 you are. There you are. There you are. There you are. Hey, all right.
I thought I would play along with your song because I was able to hear you the entire time. Man, I don't know what the fuck's... So speaking of shit, my internet lately has been complete garbage. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah, like
What'd you
I
do?
called... I don't know. So I have reset my modem multiple times. I've reset my router multiple times. I've called my provider, which is Cox, because they're dicks. And they're like, we can't see anything wrong. And I'm like, how can you possibly not see that I just lost connection for 30 seconds straight? How are you unable to tell that just happened?
Oh, man. Yep.
So it's annoying.
So go ahead. So I don't remember what the transition was, but go ahead.
I was talking about shit. Which, speaking of my shitty internet connection, by which I mean, speaking of, we were talking about Steam earlier, and this is kind of interesting. So, Digital Homicide, apparently, and I don't have the full details on this because I'm just kind of skimming this article, has been trying to get a subpoena to get personal information from some users on Valve because those users left negative reviews about their games on Steam. So first of all,
go ahead.
This sounds like the plot of Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
It totally is. Yes, it is. Do you remember when Jim Sterling was being sued by these guys?
Vaguely, yeah.
Yeah, so he kind of got tight-lipped about it, and because it was an actual lawsuit, so he didn't really say anything about it. I don't remember what the follow up was, or even if there has been one, because this new development is even more interesting. So and we actually risk, by talking about this, being sued by these guys. But so Digital Homicide is they develop games. If I were to just browsing over the game collection, the collection of games that they've put out, and seeing the videos on some of the games that they've put out, I could definitely say, as a reviewer, as somebody who is a seasoned reviewer, reviewing hundreds if not thousands of games, it would probably be a game that would score pretty low for me, right? From experience, it would probably score really fucking low. Okay.
Yeah.
So that being said, they continue to put out games like this, and now I guess they're fed up with reviewers telling it how it is, and they went after Jim Sterling first, and now they're going after just reviewers in general. And if you go to their site, they actually have seeking legal representation, and it's just basically, I mean, I don't even want to so by removing us for defending ourselves against harassment, Steam. So first off, did you mention the part where Steam actually removed all their games?
Oh, I hadn't yet.
Okay, so that's the most beautiful part of this whole thing, and I just totally spoiled it. So they went to a judge, and they want to get the judge to subpoena Valve for all the user information for a handful of people that they deem to be unworthy to review their game, right, based on their opinion. And that didn't actually go through. The subpoena is there, but it's not signed. It didn't actually go through. At the time that I put the link in the doc, everybody assumed that it was because they saw the paperwork or whatever. But apparently it has not gone through yet. So that's why they are now seeking legal representation, is because they want to actually follow through with this. Now, throughout when this happened, Steam was like, fuck you. These reviews are here for a reason. Your games clearly are subpar, and our community is responding. That's why we built the system. And they removed all of their games from the site. So now they're trying to sue.
They're trying to sue Valve now.
Valve, yeah. And it's and the reason why I put it in here, because it's so ridiculous. It's so from a game standpoint, right? From a gamer standpoint, from being in the industry standpoint, right? It's ridiculous. but then I thought, what would happen if they went to a judge who's like, he doesn't really follow games, or maybe he's only heard the bad things about games, right?
Yeah.
And he, what if he's like, oh yeah, we need to put a stop to this. This is harassment. I've heard about this kind of thing. This is harassment. We need to put a stop to this. And he's like, yeah, subpoena their stuff, and then they go through and they get the personal information for 100 plus or whatever many reviewers. They left them negative feedback, and they serve them papers and they sue them, and this becomes like an actual thing. What if that actually became an actual thing? Because it is possible. All it takes is one judge who does not know that it's this is the way it is when you get reviews online.
Yeah. So you are absolutely correct. The reason that I think it's unlikely to the reason I think something like that is unlikely to happen is the same judge who is going to just shrug off like I don't need to learn more about this. I already know what this is. I already understand what's going on. First of all, it would have to go through a jury, but the same jury, judge, whatever situation that is going to go, I don't need to figure out what this is. I will just assume that this is harassment, is going to see that the company is called Digital Homicide and that all of their games are about murdering tons of people. And then go,
that's a good point.
But
yeah.
I don't like these games, so fuck these people.
Yeah. Yep.
Like they have a game called The Slaughtering Grounds. They're called Digital Homicide. They are not going to win the maybe the court doesn't understand argument at all, just because if the court doesn't understand, they're going to be biased against Digital Homicide and The Slaughtering Grounds.
Yeah, and I actually just noticed. So they have a ton of games. So they have a bundle here for over 50 games, right? When you go to the link, it takes you to Super Mega Bundle, which has over 50 great games. It says, and it's just, it just looks like a bunch of subpar games. At least the thumbnails would lead me to think that. Hey, look, there's a Slaughtering Grounds right there for 94 cents.
Yeah.
But I think what's interesting here is that if you hover your mouse over, if you do a mouse over for it and you look at the URL below, it's actually the URL actually is going out of business bundle. But when you go to it, it says Super Mega Bundle. So I think they're just like on the way down, they're trying to grab as many things as possible. I did not notice that. Wow. Yeah, it's just like if they were to get away with this, and this would provide some sort of legal precedence to sue for anybody who makes anything that gets reviews online to sue, especially if the review is this thing is fucking garbage and I hope whoever made it like dies or something, which is not an uncommon piece of review material.
Yeah. Well, and like I've said before, like people who post shit like that should be getting like Valve absolutely should be moderating that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. They don't have any legal requirement to, so no lawsuit is going to win there.
Right.
But yeah, like I do think that in the case of, like, not that I really particularly want to side with Digital Stupid Homicide on anything here, but it's fair enough that they're mad at Steam for not moderating the guy who says, I want to murder everyone involved with this video game. Like, that's not an okay thing to say.
Right.
But also, their games are trash and they should feel bad. So their website too, like I was like, I'm gonna go look at this website real quick because it's linked in this Polygon article. It's like, oh yeah, they've got their reply here. And I went to their website, which is digitalhomicide.ninja, which I didn't even realize existed.
Oh, you did?
And Holy shit, this is the worst fucking website I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, it's bad.
My fucking 1992 GeoCities website looked better than this.
Yep. I believe.
And I had fucking marquees and blink text on that. Yeah. So, TLDR, I don't know, nerf warlocks.
Yes.
Yeah. So...
Wait. Before I don't know where you're going.
Yeah, do this.
Okay.
This is a good...
Because you started watching Mr. Robot last week.
Yeah.
Now, no spoilers here, folks.
No
spoilers. But you started watching it last week, and then you gave me shit for apparently not fucking selling you on it enough. When I have how many episodes where I'm like, hey, did you watch Mr. Robot? Hey, did you watch Mr. Robot? Hey.
Okay, yeah, but you failed to properly express how good the show is.
What the fuck? Was I supposed to show you my raging heart on? I don't understand what the fuck I was supposed to do. Dear Lord, here's a picture of my penis. Notice that it is very erect. I am thinking about Mr. Robot. The end.
I mean, that also wouldn't have helped. It's not your fault. You're not very good with words.
Oh my god. You started watching it. You got through the first season.
Got through first season. Yeah, I'm gonna binge season 2 this weekend.
The season finale just hit last night. I just watched it today, and I'll just say that they have fucking done it again. Like they have somehow managed to take this thing that you would think would only last for one season, which you finished the first season, so you kind of feel like, okay, yeah, like for a moment there, you were like, okay, we should end right now, like cut to credits, ta-da, that's at the end of the series. But no, they have managed to completely fuck your brain for another 12 episodes successfully, all the way up until the very last moment, where now it's like, and here's the thing, as you go through, and I don't know if you did this the first season, which you probably should have, but didn't you ever feel yourself at the end of like every episode, especially if you couldn't binge the next one if you didn't have time or whatever, like feel like, okay, what the fuck is going on? I should figure this out. I should kind of like, like tempted to look things up or anything? Like, didn't you kind of have that feeling?
No, because I had the opportunity to just watch the next episode.
God, how fortunate for you!
Yeah. So I guess I should thank you for never properly telling me how good this show is, so that I just randomly decided to watch it one day. But yeah, man, like I'm excited because I haven't started even at all on season 2. I'm excited though because this isn't really a spoiler to anyone who isn't following the show, but like end of season 1 and like the door opens, and I'm like, oh Jesus Christ, there's no possible way that it's that guy.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's that guy, and I want to see what happens. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a good show. I was telling Jen, I feel like this is the best show for right now. Like it is everything feels very real. Like everything they do, obviously, like they have all these tech overseers or whatever, or supervisors, consultants, to make sure that everything they do is about as realistic as possible, i.e., boring looking. Compared to, enhance, right?
Exactly.
And
he doesn't sit at a computer typing for 20 minutes to make an image. Like,
it's and it feels, it's something that hits close to home. It's like you have these one percenters, basically, right? And then you have this group of vigilantes, like Anonymous, right? To are attempting to stick it to the man, essentially, right?
Yeah.
And it's just so good. And then you have like this, this character Elliot, who Rami Malek, he actually won an Emmy for best actor in a drama, I think.
And well deserved as well.
Oh man, yeah. Especially if you see him, and it's funny. I blew a couple people's minds in Discord. I was like, yeah, he was in Twilight, and I showed the pictures of him in Twilight and shit, where he looks all pretty and like has like his vampire contacts in or whatever the fuck.
Nice.
Everyone was like, what? Yeah, I was like, yeah, he was in fucking Twilight. And it was.
Oh God.
What?
I just looked that up.
Right? Isn't it weird?
Yeah.
So he's clearly, flexible in that case. But you see him in that movie, and he could like control water or some shit or elements. I don't know. And then you see him in Mr. Robot, and he plays that character. And I feel like I know people like that. It's like I personally know people who they really, really, really poor social skills. They don't like being touched, even if it's just like a hey man, how you doing, touch on the shoulder. They can't handle it. They don't know how to respond to that. They don't handle stress. They can't hang with that stuff. And then on the flip side, they're just their brains just work differently from a lot of people. They're more engineering focused in terms of like coding, and they view things differently in that respect. So it's he pulls that off so well, man. So good.
Yeah, like as I was watching this, and like there's some. Oh Jesus, did I just get lost again?
What? No, you're here.
Okay, good. But yeah, like there were sections of it where I was like, oh my God, like this is like there were points where I was like, this is actually a thing that I do. Now I feel like maybe I have some major social issues or something. Like, oh God, I'm trying to remember exactly what the scenes were that were causing that. But yeah, there were definitely points where I was like, yeah, this is exactly. Oh, it's when he's talking about the fight or flight reflex, and how he gets into situations and he doesn't know which of them he should do, so he just freezes. And I'm like, yeah, that's I do that. I absolutely do that. So I was like, oh man, you hit me right in the. Now you've made me identify with this character, and now everything that happens to him, I feel so much more connected to. It's really, really good storytelling.
And he talks about it in interviews after he won his Emmy. He was giving interviews. He said that he didn't expect to win against people like Kevin Spacey for House of Cards and other actors because those are characters that people can relate more to. Like we understand that there's political corruption. And so we can connect to Kevin Spacey because we see it in the news. And all these other characters, we see this stuff, we understand it, more. In his mind, he was like, these are people that were more mainstream personalities. People would connect with them more. But it says a lot about just people in general when they connect more with Elliot than all these other characters who should be more like mainstream. And it's true. It makes total sense. There's a part of, he says there's a part of Elliot in all of us, which sounds completely fucking corny, but it's true. It like you just said, it's totally true.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just wrapped up season 2. You should totally watch it.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it this weekend.
And it is it's completely worth it. They do good with the twist. I don't know what the hell they're gonna do the next season, but they definitely left you with a pretty fantastic cliffhanger. And I just threw a gigantic paragraph of like my speculations of shit that I think is happening. I think is happening because everything they show you don't know what the fuck. Like you can't interpret it. You just can't interpret it. And that's all I'll say without going any further into it. But man, oh man.
Nice.
So that's it.
He was also in Gilmore Girls.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. He's in one episode of it. He was also in Night at the Museum.
He was like a pharaoh or something, wasn't he?
Yeah.
There was like a Tumblr post or a screenshot of a Tumblr post or something. Which is why when you said you don't know anything about Tumblr, I was like, you're fine, trust me. Someone was like they were like, oh, this is like cultural appropriation or something like that. Why is there a white guy playing, an Egyptian character? And it was like the whole rant about cultural appropriation or whatever. and how this white guy was playing this Egyptian character and all this stuff, and someone was like, because he's Egyptian.
Nice. He was in Need for Speed.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know the Gilmore Girls thing either, but yeah.
2014 Need for Speed. He was in it.
Look at that.
Yeah. He's also in Mr. Robot.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to watch that.
Yeah, you should.
He's pretty good. He just won an award actually for some show that top of my head. I can't remember.
Yeah. I you know what? Actually, I got a friend that told me about the show, and it sounds all right, but not terribly exciting.
Yeah. Well, he might not be selling you. It might be pretty good. He's probably just not doing very well at selling you on the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. He is pretty shitty with words.
Man, fuck you.